Well, got one thing left to say after that experience. I'm out of here. Oh no. Fun! I love when games include these topics. Oh man, yeah, remember my GF doesn't know what I'm into? Apparently the lore, at least with the creator, goes even deeper than that. Apparently this game called Hydrangea exists. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it.
Hydrangea.
But supposedly it was made by the same people who made the first game, so I literally saw it on Steam, saw that it was free, and said, you know what, fuck it, I'll play this too. I want to load these empty slots. Whoa, empty slots. There are very many save files for this game. Gallery? Damn, this thing is deluxe. The story is fiction, but the feelings expressed in it are not. Remember, there is a human being behind the words you read. That's what I want to say. Oh, it has the same transitions as the original game. That's so cool. Okay, I got the flowers. There's no need to be nervous. As I walked up to the 4th floor of my local's hospital east ward, I was greeted to the sight of a mostly empty hallway. The weight of the flowers in my hands did little to alleviate the knot of nervousness tightening in my stomach. My sweetheart recently fell ill with a rare disease. I've been coming to visit every day since the day of the hospitalization. This could either end really nicely or really badly. And I don't know which to believe. Hospitals are not fun places. I'm still not used to walking around here. It feels like I'm invading someone else's home. Excuse me, who are you? Are you visiting someone? A nurse exiting one of the rooms raised an eyebrow as she spotted me nervously walking around. Took a deep breath, attempting to steady my nerves. Sorry, my name is... Why do I keep spelling it like that? My pronouns are... Yeah, let's keep it ambiguous. My sweetheart looks like this. Alright, I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go with the man. They, them. Sweetheart's name is Blinsky 2.0. Why can't I put 0 in? Alright, just say Blinsky number 2. Let's go with he, him. Sure, why not? This is Blinsky's gender-bent counterpart. Oh, Jaquavis? Blinsky number 2. Blinsky number 2 is staying at room 402, right over here. With a nod, she gestured towards the room, granting me permission to enter. Thank you. Entering the room, the stark contrast between the dull tones of the hallway and the vibrant hues within made my smile bloom. There's nobody in the bed. I'd just like to point that out, but there's flowers everywhere, and I don't know, I'd argue the color palette seems quite consistent, at least here. And this is coming from the guy who doesn't even know what, like, color theory or color matching even is. The early morning filtered through the curtains, casting a glow upon the surroundings.
Thank you for coming to see me again.
There's f***ing voice acting?! There's f***ing voice acting! That's amazing! Thank you for putting this in the game. Blinsky number 2 greeted me warmly, a smile dancing on his lips as he waved from the comfort of his bed. I carefully arranged a small bouquet of hydrangeas?
Hydrangea.
His favorite flower, into the vase beside his bed. Of course. How are you feeling, Blinsky number 2? Blinsky number 2 forced a weak smile. His features were looking less pale than the last time I came to visit. The room, adorned with flowers and gifts, exuded a warmth that seemed to be working wonders for his recovery. And if the empty food tray on his lap tells the truth, then Blinsky number 2 has recovered his appetite as well.
I can't stand being in here for a second longer.
That makes my job a lot easier. I don't even have to narrate his lines. Blinsky number 2 lamented with a hint of sadness, casting a disdainful glance at the thin sheets covering his body.
Every day, It's the same thing. Tests and more tests. Experts that come to examine me like I'm some kind of exhibition at a zoo.
As Blinsky number 2 spoke, a sudden fit of coughing seized him and petals of flowers scattered in the air. The coughing's not gone?
It's okay. Don't worry.
Blinsky number 2 reassured me, wiping away the flower petals that clung to his face. Once again, he summoned a weak smile. I know it'll go... Oh, why isn't this part narrated? I know it'll go away soon. Blinsky number 2 has not been able to leave the hospital at all since the symptoms first began.
With you...
With you by my side, Jaquavis. It was only yesterday that hospital staff was ever to confirm a diagnosis.
I feel like I can do anything.
Blinsky number 2. I must stay by his side, no matter what. Through every exam and medication or procedure until he can leave the hospital and go back to normal life. After all, Jaquavis...
You love me, don't you?
Shit, I just f***ing spit everywhere. It's my fault that he's sick. Because I was foolish enough to doubt him and kiss him on the lips when I was sick. Dumbass. And now he's here being poked and prodded, suffering through unimaginable pain. It's my fault. I'm sorry, Blinsky number 2. I'm sorry.
Please, don't be sad.
But... even though I'm an idiot, Blinsky number 2 accepts me and comforts me. Blinsky number 2 is the one who cannot leave his bed, yet I am here holding back the tears, threatening to spill down my cheeks.
There. It'll be alright.
Blinsky number 2 held my hand close to his chest and patted it softly as he whispered reassurances.
This is a charm my mom would do to me and my sibling when we were anxious.
Hold on a second. That's really cool and all, but like, turn that off. Turn that down. There we go. No one could probably hear my stupid voice over the sound of the music anyways. When it's like that. There's this charm my mom would do when my sibling and I were anxious. The fabric of his thin gown clung to his frame, fragile and delicate, as if it might dissolve with the lightest touch. In the midst of this vulnerability, Blinsky number 2 maintained a gentle expression.
It'll be okay, it'll be okay, it'll be okay.
Nice copy and paste voice line. An endlessly kind and understanding person like him still gazes at me with such affection. He stroked my hand half a dozen times and pressed his lips against my palm.
There you go. All your anxieties are fading away. I took it all out.
Way to spread your f***ing disease to me, bud.
Now, don't you?
Not really. As soon as he said that, I found myself letting out a breath I did not know I'd been holding. The air feels clearer.
See? The charm never fails.
Just being with him is a blessing. The sun's setting, I have to leave or the nurses will kick me out again. Jaquavis? Let him rest. I have to get going now, Blinsky number 2. I reluctantly announced, a heavy sigh escaping my lips. Blinsky's number 2 gaze dropped to the hospital sheets. I understand. See you later. I approached the door, its hinges creaking softly as it swung open. Turning back one last time, my gaze lingered on Blinsky number 2, who offered a smile. He waved. Bye-bye. I'll be okay. The medicine is helping tons. Yeah, I'm not stupid. I know what happens in these kinds of, like, dramatic scenarios. Let me know what you learn in class and teach it to me when you come back. Okay? Nod of agreement passed between us and I mouthed an apology. Bye. That's what his voice sounds like, right? Ooh, these floor tiles are uneven. I get that it's a stylistic choice, but right off the bat, that's kind of bothering me. And this perspective. Hey, did you hear about that patient in room 402 over on the east wing? That's one with the rare illness? Yeah, he died last night. That's it. Everyone at the attending lounge is talking about it. Excuse me. I bumped into the noisy staff blocking my way through the hospital's cafeteria. If there's one thing I've learned from those past days, I've been going to and from this facility, and there's no end to the gossip. A lot of what I overhear is from this very place. While waiting for their turn in line, doctors and nurses alike seem to be unable to keep to themselves. Doctor-patient confidentiality is dead in this building. Do you think as a person who's been to visit... I quickly plopped down a lackluster meal of mashed potatoes and an old hamburger onto my plate. Hospital food is completely tasteless. Those bleak white walls manage to drain every bit of flavor from the ingredients in each meal. Not like I've had much of an appetite lately. To my shame, I didn't believe Budinsky No. 2's charm of diagnosis at first. The very concept of such a bizarre illness existing outside of the world of fiction sounded bizarre, even unscientific. Until I heard it from the several doctors looking after him with my own ears, I've heard Budinsky No. 2 over and over again. That fact swims and swirls in my brain, over and over in an endless loop that weighs down on my shoulders and sends a searing pain through my chest. It's all my fault. I'm the one who did this to him. Hey,
are you not eating that?
No, it tastes like shit. A voice interrupted my self-reflection, pulling me back to the present. Ah! I looked up rapidly at the source of the voice that had called out to me. For a single moment, I thought I was seeing things. My friend's name is... I just call her Zoe No. 2? Or do I call her, like... Yeah, sure, let's go Zoe 2.0. Because I am out of ideas, and I am super sorry. But what I had thought at that half second between where my brain and my eyes had managed to connect, of course, it was impossible.
When was the last time you had a proper meal?
A few hours ago. It's not Budinsky No. 2 that stood before me, but his sibling. Still wearing their school... Wait, that's his sibling? Oh, there's a timeline. What is that? Oh. This timeline is getting more by the minute. Still wearing their school uniform. I don't understand why they're here. I'm fine, Zoe 2.0.
You're driving yourself sick. Please, at least try to eat a little.
Shut up! Eating disorders are cool, haven't you heard? No, I'm not sick. Budinsky No. 2 is sick, you dumb fuck. I think Budinsky No. 2 would want you to starve yourself. I remained silent. Zoe sat down in front of me, pointing sternly at the messy goop that was the cafeteria's attempts at a portion of mashed potatoes. Why is this game so f***ing wordy? Just say I looked down at my mashed potatoes, f***ing hell. Zoe 2.0 has always been like this, ever since I first met them and Budinsky No. 2. But now, their usual behavior infuriated me. Why haven't you visited Budinsky No. 2?
The hamburger is pretty good once you get to the tomatoes. Try it.
Your brother is dying! They ignored my question. The person at the reception desk told me that I'm the only one who's come to see him today.
Right.
Part-time job excuse is not going to work this time. I know very well that today is one of Zoe 2.0's free days. What are you doing here? Show concern for me, yet none at all for their brother. If it were my family, I wouldn't be leaving Budinsky No. 2's side for even a second. There's also their father, who hasn't been here either. Makes no sense.
How much have you researched about the illness?
I haven't. I briefly looked at this game's Steam page, decided, you know what, fine, I'm doing this, and then just downloaded it, pressed play. They asked, finally meeting my eyes. Why do you ask? Do you care at all? We were close, Zoe and I. It was thanks to them that I was able to confess my feelings to Budinsky No. 2. With their support, we began to go out. But now, looking at them, I feel our relationship has become one lower than strangers. Damn, that's harsh. The days when I considered them my closest friend feel like another lifetime. The anger that simmered within me traveled from my chest to my fingers. Jaquavis! Unable to control myself, I banged both my hands on the table. I can feel the monster coming inside me. Zoe 2.0 recoiled. The impact sent some of my food spilling onto the table. I grimaced. It was not my intention to create a scene. I'm not speaking to you until you apologize to Blinsky number 2. My voice shook. My hands, clenched into fists, longed to grab and shake his Zoe 2.0 shoulders until they realized the gravity of the situation. It was indeed so guttural, so raw, I grabbed her shoulders. I'm gonna beat the shit out of her. I got up and grabbed Zoe's 2.0 shoulders, forcing them to look straight at me. What are you doing here? Blinsky number 2 and Zoe 2.0 are family. When we met, they got along just fine. And why are you ignoring Blinsky number 2? The least you could do is... Zoe 2.0's shoulders began to shake in my hands. I'd never seen them with such an expression on their face. Their eyebrows pulled up together, eyes wide, paralyzed at the spot.
Let me go!
Wait, did I set Zoe's pronouns as they, them? Ah. Taken back by their unexpected reaction, I immediately let go.
Never do that again.
Never ignore your family again. I started to say, attempting an apology, but the words caught in my throat. The lingering anger I felt towards Zoe 2.0 stifled any attempt to express remorse. Zoe 2.0 shook their head, breaking eye contact and looking down at the remains of my meal on the table.
Eat. Try to eat. You need it.
Thank you. I'm leaving. Gravis. Zoe 2.0's gaze never left my back as I walked away. How would I know? I ignored it. The building's exit was right nearby, and I made my way towards it. Somehow, my feet, heavy with guilt and regret, brought me to the hospital's exit. I understood now what's really important to me. Blinsky number 2. If I had realized this before, he wouldn't have gotten so ill. Everything else, the trivial concerns that had preoccupied my mind, paled in comparison. It all comes second to his happiness. The following day arrived. A sense of urgency propelled me to Blinsky number 2's room as soon as the hospital's regulations permitted. Hi there! Came to see him again? Upon my arrival, the same nurse from the previous day greeted me with a warm smile. Yeah. The nurse helpfully opened the door for me. Come visit, won't come visit. Come visit, won't come visit. Today, Blinsky number 2 wasn't finishing a meal like last time. Instead, I spotted him plucking the petals off one of the many flowers he had been gifted. Hey, you really like your fortune-telling charms, huh? I ventured into the room, breaking the cadence of Blinsky number 2's ritual. Ritual? Is that a motherfucking Paper Lily reference? I'm drinking to that.
Huh?
Don't spook me like that. Unbeknownst to him, I had already taken the liberty of arranging the new bouquet of hydrangeas
Hydrangea.
in a vase. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Blinsky number 2 carefully set down the flower, shaking his head.
Oh.
I can't help it. It's the only thing that calms me down. Fortune-telling has always been Blinsky number 2's chosen way of calming his nerves. He liked it a lot. You told me that they weren't always correct, though. Yeah, on the day we started going out, my flower fortune-telling hasn't told me. My fortune... F***ing hell. Yes, on the day we started going out, my flower fortune-telling had told me that it wouldn't work out. Even if the result is bad, I'll feel calmer because I know what to prepare for.
Yes.
It's not the results I care about. It's more the relief it gives me. The sincerity in his words resonated with me, prompting a soft chuckle. You were prepared for me to not like you back? I mean, I don't, but, well, never mind. Yeah, that very morning I wrote down a script of how I would react so I wouldn't start crying right away. Man, you're pathetic. I like you. Cute. Zoe 2.0 was so annoyed they had convinced me to leave the script at home and be myself. Pfft, come on now, what does she know? She doesn't even care about you. The mention of Zoe 2.0's name made my smile falter. They didn't want to say it out loud, but Budinsky number 2 noticed a change immediately. He leaned in closer. Are we about to kiss right now? Are you still fighting with Zoe 2.0? Yes. I didn't want to bring it up. Budinsky number 2 is going through enough already. Shouldn't rub this in how his family doesn't care enough to visit. I guess. I shrugged. Bonk. Gentle impact on my head jolted me. Yo, I got an achievement for that. Gentle impact on my head jolted me, courtesy of Budinsky number 2, wielding the remains of the flower he'd been plucking. What is this, GTA San Andreas? Are you beating me with a flower? Hey, you bastard. I protested, rubbing the spot where the floral assault had landed.
Jeez.
You can't fight. You're best friends. What? Oh, right. But they haven't been visiting you. I'm upset, aren't you? Bonk, bonk. No bonking, Jaquavis. I laughed at this clumsy attempt to call me out, but Budinsky number 2 wasn't finding it very funny. You need to make up a Zoe 2.0. It's not alright that you're still not talking. But... Oh, please? Please, Jaquavis? Please? I don't want to speak to Zoe 2.0. She's a bitch. I can't. I'm angry. I don't want to speak to... Bonk. Hey!
Jeez.
Don't be mad in my stead. I'm not angry, see? That's because you're too pure and good to feel all that emotion. Please, Jaquavis, at least talk with them for a little bit. Please?
We don't know what's going on in their head. And knowing my sibling, they're worried about things they shouldn't be thinking about. When I get out of here, I want things to be just like they were before. Including the three of us hanging out and laughing together. Like family.
Budinsky number 2. We were close, and I considered them my best friend. That's the truth. Yesterday, I was so angry that fact didn't move me at all, but now I understand. I should apologize. I was not nice to them in the cafeteria. Zoe 2.0 and their father must have their own circumstances. I'm glad you agree. It's thanks to Budinsky number 2 that I can see that now. He's my angel. I can't believe I ever thought otherwise. Do you love me, Jaquavis? Of course I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I love you too, so much. This ritual that we do of confirming the love we hold for each other. Ritual! I believe it is helping Budinsky number 2's symptoms, steadily getting better with each visit. I can see it from his complexion. The colors are turning to his cheeks day by day. That is why I have to keep going, even if I miss out on some sleep or homework or a class. That's not as important. Little by little, I'll build back the trust I took away from you. I got one thing left to say after that experience. I'm out of here.